Hey everybody, welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Kylie and today I'm going to do my September wrap up. I had an amazing reading month for September. I read 7 actual books and 2 audiobooks, a total of 2,874 pages, and then 16 hours and 10 minutes of listening time. I had only 1 3-star read, and the rest were 4 or 5-star reads. So it was a great month. So let me just let you know what I read. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Cinder was my very first buddy read that I ever did, and originally I was just supposed to do it with Zoe, who's ReaderBee, and Shelby from What's My Page Again. But we found out that Rachael Marie, Grace Marie, and Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books, is that her? She's like the very first one on my sub feed. Anyways, her name's Nicole, and she's lovely. And that they were doing a buddy read for Cinder starting the exact same time as we were. So we joined in, and we had 6 of us buddy reading it all together. Some people were bad and read ahead. Little bums. But overall, it was like a really super fun experience to be chatting with all those girls. I gave Cinder a 4 stars. I really liked it. I was kind of disappointed at where it ended, but you just kind of have to read the next book, I guess. But yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It was definitely a solid Cinderella retelling, but if anyone who doesn't know, Cinder is the first in a series of 5 or 6, I think, that are called the Lunar Chronicles, and each one features a character who is like from a fairy tale, and their story gets retold with a twist. So Cinder is, she's Cinderella, but she's also a cyborg, and so that was really cool, a sci-fi twist, and I really enjoyed the story. The second one that I read, just gonna switch the angle here, was called Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and this was a origin story for the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. I also gave this 4 stars. I kind of thought that the beginning 2/3 of the book was a little bit drawn out, and then the ending was rushed. That's just how I felt. Some people really liked how she did the ending and thought that it was fitting, but I would have liked a little bit more. I would like a little bit more. So I gave it 4 stars. I buddy read that book with Shelby from What's My Page Again, and she enjoyed it even less than I did. She enjoyed it less than I did, but that's okay. And we read it together because our friend Zoe, ReaderBee, she really loved that book so much. You can go onto her channel and check out I think it's a reading vlog where she was like actually crying at the ending of it. I don't think the ending warranted actual tears, but Zoe has a particular love for Alice in Wonderland, and so that's why she's just a little bit biased towards that book. Okay, another book that I read this month was Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I gave it 4 stars. I was trying to follow along with the big BRA book club. They hosted a read-along. There was 7 different hosts. Oh, can I remember them all? Zoe was one, Grace Marie, Rachael Marie, Lori Dawson, I think Kate from Chapter Kate, and I think Heather, who is the Happy Booktuber. I think that's all of them. I'm sorry if I forgot somebody. They hosted a really fun read-along with, each of them hosted one day, and there was challenges for each day that were really creative and different. And I found that it was like something for everybody for sure. I participated in some of them, but I got behind on the reading, and if anyone was following me on Twitter, I finished the book about 8 hours after they did the live show. So I just didn't get there in time, but I did finish the book. I think that people either really love this book or really hate this book, and that's super funny that I'm saying that because I think I'm a little bit in the middle. I really loved the last third of it. Really loved it. But at the same time, I didn't hate the first 2/3. It did go a little slow. I did think it was a bit over the top on the descriptiveness, and I don't know. Sometimes I felt like different like scenes or chapters where she showed us different things or talked about different things served no other purpose except that so that later in the book she could make like a one-line comparison back to that scene and that you would understand what she meant. And so a lot of the stuff at the beginning, not like all of it, certainly, because I really do enjoy descriptive and atmospheric books. But this was, even for me, like a little bit over the top. So I gave it 4 stars. But because I really did super enjoy the last third, and you kind of get left at a spot where you, like, the story is obviously not over and you want to know what happened. So I am going to be picking up Muse of Nightmares in the future. But the book wasn't so good that I feel like I need to go get that Muse of Nightmares, like, right now. So I'll probably get to it maybe after Christmas. But yeah, it was really good, and I really enjoyed participating in some of the different challenges of the read-along. Then I also read A Gathering of Shadows by Victoria Schwab. I give this 4.5 stars because I was a little bit annoyed that there was a cliffhanger ending. I am going to read A Conjuring of Light this month, though. I enjoyed it. A Gathering of Shadows is the second book in the Darker Shade of Magic series by Victoria Schwab. It's not a series, sorry, trilogy. And in this novel there is a like magical tournament, and that is basically the main plot of the novel. And then kind of at the end of the book, where the cliffhanger and the events that take place at the end of the book lead us into the third book. But the main whole storyline of this novel is the magical tournament, and it's a lot of character development of the main characters and some new characters that we didn't have in A Darker Shade of Magic. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. I really like the magical tournament. I don't know, is it considered a trope? I really like that competition trope or whatever. So I enjoyed myself. That was a really rushed read for me. I was trying to get it done again for another live show that I missed because I wasn't done in time. But I had trouble getting that one from my library. My library just only had a few copies in the whole province of that one. So I got the book on the 19th and the live show was like on the 21st or something. So it just didn't happen for me. Okay, another book that I read was called Beast, A Tale of Love and Revenge by Lisa Jensen. This was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast that was really different. There is a review that I posted for it. I'll link it in the iCards. So I posted a full review, so I don't think I need to talk a lot about it. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Then I also read To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I gave this book 5 stars. To Kill a Kingdom is a Little Mermaid retelling. But it's a lot darker. The romance isn't the main plot point at all. And I really liked that. I also have a review up for that, which I will link in the iCards. Then the last actual paper book that I read this month was Everland by Wendy Spinelli. This is the first in a series trilogy. I'm not sure. I'm not going to be continuing on with it. I didn't really enjoy myself super well. I gave it only 3 stars. The main thing that I didn't like about this book, this was a Peter Pan retelling, kind of. There's 2 main types of scenes that I felt was happening, and they just happened over and over again. And I'm going to just give you an example of the one right now. So you have Hook and his pirates, marauders, whatever, going, I'll get you, Pan, come down here, there's no escape, we've got you. And then you have the Lost Boys, the kids, whatever, you'll never get us, blah, 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 like, you're a stupid codfish, and just, like, banter back and forth like that, and then the pirates don't catch them, and they get away every freaking time. And seriously, that happened, that kind of banter, at least 5 or 6 times throughout this book. And it was not a long book. This was only a 312-page book. And so, needless to say, I got a little bored. It was an interesting concept, an interesting world. It was set, like, in a dystopian London. There's a disease that's killing everybody. It was kind of interesting in that way, but I just couldn't, every time it happened, I was like, really? Again? And so I was super annoyed about that. Okay, so the 2 audiobooks that I read were Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. So this is one of those books that until about the halfway point, you're like, okay, like, I don't know where this is going. And I actually thought, so Sea Witch, I went into it with the understanding that it was a origin story for, like, Ursula. Up until a certain point, you're thinking, this sounds like more of a Little Mermaid retelling than an Ursula origin story. And you're like, how are we gonna, like, it doesn't seem like it's going where it needs to go. And then it does. And then you get all these moments when you're like, oh shit. And it's really good. And it does a little bit of a flipping, like, back into the past and stuff. But that's fine. It was done perfectly well, I thought, on audiobook. I really liked the audiobook. I really liked the narrator or the voice actor, whatever you want to call her. I gave it 5 stars. Really super, super enjoyed it and would recommend it. Then I listened to Lost Boy, The True Story of Captain Hook by Christina Henry. I also gave that one 5 stars. But I will say, warning, because it is super rank. At one point, I was not even halfway through the book, and I started counting how many children had been killed. And I don't just mean children are dying. I mean, like, children are getting shot with a cannonball, and children are getting attacked by giant spiders, and children are getting stabbed by other children. And as a mother, it was super hard to listen to that. The story itself, if you can get past all the killing of children, was super riveting. I thought it was really interesting, and I really liked it. obviously hated all the killing of all the children, and I thought that it didn't need to happen necessarily, but how she used it to prove her points in the end was valid. So was very dark though, and yeah, so take that as you will. So there were some books that I talked about in my TBR that I just didn't get to this month. I read a lot, but I still did not get to Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to finish everything, and so I had to make a decision, and I decided that I would take that back to the library because there's a possibility that I might get it as a gift for Christmas. If not, I will get back to the DC Icon series in the new year. But overall, I had a really, really good month. Please, if you're interested in some of these books and I've already reviewed them, please go check out the reviews. All right, so let me know if you've read any of those down below, if you're planning to, if I made them sound better or worse to you. Oh no, how did your guys' September go? I'm working my way through a massive watch later playlist right now. I think I probably have 60 or some videos to catch up on, but I should be able to get there at some point this week. So yeah, I don't know. Hope you guys are having a good October. Like and subscribe to see more from me. And that's all I have for you today. Bye.